can't wait until you call me and say, guess what? Guess what I'm fixing to do? I'm going back to the prison and I'm going to get to talk to these women, or, you know, I'm going to speak at the next barrel race, or, you know, it's going to be exciting. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm going with you. I'm there. Got my bag. Got my backpack.
Boy, this has been a heck of a conversation.
It has.
You got a question that's burning you up.
I do. I have a question. So I want to know, like, what the journey with Christ, from solitaire, getting out, being with Miss LaDonna. Were you coming to church with Miss LaDonna? Mm-hmm. Is that where? Okay. And then coming to church, sneaking in on the back row.
Yeah, she'd drag me in. She'd have to drag me in there, and I'd sit on the back row because I didn't want to know anybody to see me. If I sat back there, I could cry, and I could leave before anybody ever knew I was there.
Right. And where do you sit now, ma'am?
Right up next to you. With the front row girls.
Yeah, right on the front row. Okay. But what is that journey like?
It was crazy. I had to rely on God a lot to get up front.
Right.
I'd get a little ways and I'd go backwards. Mm-hmm. Get a little ways, and then somebody would say something or look at me, or I could tell, and I'd just run back again.
Right. To the back row? Or just out the church,
period? Out the church completely.
Yeah. I understand that.
Just run out.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It was just one day I walked in, I took a deep breath, and I just went to the front.
Yeah.
And sat down. I've been there ever since.
It's like, here I am.
Yeah.
Here I am.
I'm here right up front.
Yeah. Boldly. Proclaiming.
Yeah.
Boldly.
Yeah, we come boldly before the throne room.
Right.
Yeah.
Boldly. That's the word that just kept coming to my mind. You found who you are in Him, and you're bold in that.
Bold.
And not ashamed.
Yes.
I got a weird question that just came to mind. It's like, so when it talks about the throne room of heaven, it says that the devil comes before the throne room to make accusation against the saints.
And Hazel.
Have you ever read that?
Yes.
So he comes before and says, she did this, she did that, she did this, she did that.
Yes.
And Jesus is your defense attorney.
Mm-hmm.
He says, no, my blood's got her covered.
Right. He didn't see it.
And so it's like a courtroom, right?
Yeah.
Did you ever feel that being in church, like you were in the middle of this courtroom where you felt the accusation on one side and you felt him trying to redeem you on the other, and like that tug of war?
Just torn in between. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. I felt like every time I sat down in church, I felt like the devil was there trying to keep me out, mm-hmm. Like, he's talking to you, just get up and leave, Right. He's talking about you, just get up and leave. And I just finally decided, you know what? He can talk about me.
Right.
He can talk about me because that was me, but that's not me no more.
Exactly. And everybody knows that, but It's so hard for us to understand that. So hard for us to not be easily offended sometimes. Mm-hmm. When that might be the furthest from somebody's mind, but we kind of wear that.
Do y'all know who Bryce Crawford is?
No.
Well, I've heard the name.
So he's all over TikTok. I love this kid. He's just a kid. But he just walks up and down the street and he ministers to people.
Oh,
He'll
yes.
walk
Right
right
I know
up
who
to
you're
somebody.
talking about. Yes.
So he had a quote that came across my feed the other day, and I'd heard him when he said this. It says, Satan knew my name my whole life, but he called me by my sin.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus knew my sin, but he called me by my name.
Was that
That's powerful.
What's his name? That's with Elevation Worship, Chandler Moore, and they have a song about that.
Yeah,
and it's a powerful song. I'll have to remember exactly, but that's what he said. And, you called me by my sin, but he called me by my name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that just hit me,
Well, because that's the only thing he can recognize now. He can't recognize this new person that you are in Christ and you're covered in the blood. But he can recognize, he has to hold on to the past. He's not a he can't predict the future. He doesn't know the future.
Yeah.
He just knows the past. So if he can keep pulling you back to that,
Yeah.
then he feels like he is has the stronghold because he can pull you back into that. But when you go forward in Christ and you're covered under the blood of Jesus, he can't touch that. He can't.
Yeah. The other quote that I came across from him was, "Sin feels like freedom until you try to stop."
That's good. Yeah.
And that I had saved it today and didn't really realize, but I kind of feel a lot of that in your story.
Yeah.
It's almost like you ran to that because it felt like you're getting the pressure off.
Mm-hmm.
That's really what it is. I think it was the pressure. You're running from the pressure, and so you run back to that because it lets you leave the pressure. But every time you tried to quit it, it felt like a prison.
Right.
And gosh, man, I'm just so proud of you for how you overcome all that.
Thank you.
Yeah, for sure.
And since you've been through all that, what do you have to say to there's two sides of that coin, and you're a mom now, single mom, doing a great job.
Mm-hmm.
But so you have some of those sentiments and those feelings as a mother, and then you've been on the other side as the child and the person that was in it. So walk us through what do you have to, what have you learned?
Gosh, that's a hard question. I don't know. I don't have any to that. And I just learned that I can't get through any of this without God. The devil make you think that everything's better. Everything's better over there. It's a prettier picture. It's
Right. They're having so much fun.
they're having fun. They don't feel nothing. There's no hurt. But it's a lie. It's
all lies.
It's all a lie. And so it's an everyday battle, a constant battle between one and the other. And until you take a halt and realize that this one doesn't matter, this is the only one that matters, it's a battle.
Right.
It's a battle.
Right.
I don't know if I answered
And
your
so
question.
what would you say to your younger self? What would you say, looking back now, what would you
Vera?
say to yourself and maybe could have changed the course of it? But what would you say to yourself now how old were you?
when we're
Well, you were 15 and then
Well, no, it
you're
didn't
about
start till I was 20.
No, right.
Yeah,
You were in your
20s.
20s. But if looking back now, the Celeste that you are now, who you are now, I won't give your age or anything. But and if you could go back and speak to that, would you speak to that 20-year-old? Would you go all the way back to the 15? Was it when you were 8? What would you say to your younger self?
Man,
No, it's a loaded question.
that's a loaded question. I don't know what I would say because I don't know how I could have fixed it without living it.
I was
Right.
fixing to ask you,
Right.
would you have changed it?
Well, yeah, no one wants to go down those things.
But knowing what you know now and where you've come through, and y'all, I'm just going to beat a dead horse here because it seems like it comes up for me every single show. But it's that stupid book, Pinocchio. He goes into the darkest place. He has to find and face the darkest thing in order to overcome that thing. And it's you really don't ever overcome until you face the dark thing.
Right.
And then so is it that going through all of that pain, going through all that stuff, if you skip through that, would you have ever really come to a place to where you knew Christ whatsoever?
Probably not.
So it's would you have really have changed
Is
it?
that not, I mean, it's not real, it wasn't a real thing growing up, right? I mean, were you raised in the church?
I would go to church every now and then with my friends and stuff, but no.
Right, but
It wasn't
your,
center of our family. No.
right.
Not at all.
Okay.
Yeah. I brought these gloves. I didn't know how this was going to come up, but I had heard this illustration the other day, so I cannot take credit for this. But I saw it, and it was just this young lady that was at an event, and she was talking about this glove, and that glove is made in a certain way to fit a hand, but it doesn't. You can tell it's made for a hand. You can tell it's in the shape of a hand. You can tell what it's made for. Yet it doesn't have any power until what it has made after fills it.
Mm-hmm.
Then it can function. So we're made in the image of Christ, and we can look like him all day, going to church, doing all the stuff and things. But until we're really filled with Christ, we never are able to function.
To work. Yes.
We're never able to really fulfill our purpose. That was so impactful for me as a visual representation. And, it kind of goes back, one of the statements we made in the very beginning was, don't trust anybody that doesn't have a limp, It's like, well, they're either putting on something that they're not, or they had never been through anything. I think more times than not, they're just trying to put on that they're got it all together.
Right.
And, that's one of the things I think that makes it hard for people to come into the church and to be vulnerable and just throw it out there. They've got to have a lot of courage, and they got to come to the end of themselves to be there. When you got there, thank the Lord you got there.
Yes.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But yeah, that was such an impactful thing for me.
Yeah, that was good stuff.
To see that visually, and you got that now.
I do.
Right.
It's evident. You can see it in your whole countenance, and when we're at church, I tend to be more alert. I want to know what's going on around me, But just watching, you can tell whose worship really means something and whose doesn't. And I know that your worship means a lot.
Because it cost a lot.
It costs a lot.
It cost a lot, but it cost Christ everything.
Yeah.
So how can you not pour out everything that you have to him in thankfulness and gratitude and just even when you don't have the words and your tears can say it.
Right.
And so I'm so thankful for that. That's my favorite when I get to worship.
There was one other thing I had for you, that had heard it the other day, and I went back and found it again today, and it was really, I think, relevant. It's like the most significant advancements in your life come after the most significant changes.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And if you don't feel that significant advancement in your life, it's because you were too afraid to take on the change.
Yes.
And I know God's got you in the middle of that right now, and it's like, don't really know what to do or how to do or say goodbye or move on. But it's like, okay, well, God's got something for you on the other side of that. And being courageous enough to take that step means, and I heard you say it from your mouth the other day. It's like, okay, doing this is going to help me get better. It's going to take me to the next level.
Right.
And there's a lot of fear in that, especially from where you've come from.
Yeah.
Do you think that there's any fear about going to that next level that you would go back to where you were?
No.
No?
No. I want to go to that next level more than anything.
What's that look like for you?
Yeah.
When you say next level, is it
the top?
I know we're speaking professionally or speaking, in your walk with God. But if you could, what does that look like to you in your mind? What does that look like?
In my mind, I guess I take it back to when I fell off. When I fell off, I was on the top. I was a winner. Everybody knew me. I was the one they talked about and stuff. So the top for me again is to be back in that.
Right.
In that. I want them to talk about me. I want them to see that God could take me from there and put me back
There you
up
go.
there.
There you go.
Up there.
For his glory.
Yes.
For him. Not for Celeste.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I was waiting for. I knew it was there. So
And yeah,
Yeah.
just to show where, that he has restored everything.
Yes. He's given back everything.
But this time
That I
it's for a
lost.
different purpose.
Yes.
right.
It's
Absolutely.
not self-serving.
None at all.
Yeah.
None at all.
Yeah.
And he will.
Yeah. I think that's the manner of when you really reach success in whatever you're doing,
Yes.
is when you wake up every day thinking, okay, how can I bring you glory and how can I serve
You.
your people and you?
Yes.
And it doesn't matter if it's running barrels, cutting hair, selling insurance.
Because that's everyday life.
Right.
It's not every time are you going to have this like just magical glory cloud encounter
Right.
with Jesus. Those things do happen. I do believe in those things. But the majority of the time, it is coming into contact with one of his children that are willing to tell their story, show love, no judgment, and just love.
Yes.
Just love them.
Just
Sometimes
love.
it's all people need is just someone to just love on them and let them know that, hey, you're gonna make it, sis. It's gonna be okay. And I'm gonna be right here with you, just like Miss LaDonna did with you. I'm gonna be right here with you. I'm not leaving you.
Yes.
And that's when he chooses to use us. Like he could send angels down. He could, which I do know I know there's no doubt that he does do things like that. But he chooses to use us, and he chooses to use our story.
Yes.
Like what?
Use me.
Yeah, like the least of these right here, and you
Yes.
want to use me to love on someone, or to pray for someone, or to be a friend to someone. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Well, I think it's just a matter of time before he throws you in that chamber and gets ready to shoot you at somebody and say, okay, we're going to take this one out. We're going to get her back.
Yeah.
Or we're going to get them back. And we're going to use everything you've been through to do it.
And I want him to do that
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think you will.
Absolutely.
But, I hope that this whole thing is going to help you get to a point where you have some confidence to go share that story and just be frank about it. It gets difficult. Who knows what that looks like? It might be in front of some people. It might not be. It might just be one-on-one,
Right.
but you got to be ready for it. And I think you are.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm excited. I can't wait. I can't wait until you call me and say, guess what? Guess what I'm fixing to do? I'm going back to the prison and I'm going to get to talk to these women, or,
That would be so cool.
I'm going to speak at the next barrel race, or, it's going to be exciting. And I'll be like, okay, well, I'm going with you. Okay. I'm there. Got my bag. Got my backpack.
And, well,
Got my boots on. Got my backpack.
you feel good about it?
I do.
Good.
You glad you came on and visited?
I am. I was real nervous, but I'm glad I did now.
It's
Well,
always,
we're glad you did.
yeah, it's cool. These have been some really good relationships, and it's been cool for us getting to know people on a deeper level, and hear their story, and shoot, we've gotten to know each other. I mean, it's like very rarely do you just sit down and talk.
Right. Just have a conversation.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, well, thank you, and thanks for joining, and y'all just be in prayer for Celeste and lift her up, and pray that God just really loves on her, encourages her, and that he opens some doors for her where he would want her to go, and that he helps her through this decision that she's got in front of her now, and gives her some peace one way or the other. And we thank y'all for joining in, and we'll see you soon.